The Feast of the Chair of St. Peter dates back to the 3rd century. At that time and prior to that, every year, February 22nd, they would have a Mass celebrated in commemoration of all the faithful departed. And they would remember St. Peter in a very special way, and they would place the cathedra, the chair of Peter, into the sanctuary and leave it empty, of course, symbolic of the fact that he had died. To this day, there's a cathedra in every cathedral, which is the primary seat of the bishop, because he presides over the entire diocese, or in the case of the Pope, over the whole world. We're founded on the faith of St. Peter, the confession of St. Peter that we just read in the Gospel. You are the Christ, the Son of the living God. Jesus proclaims him to be God. And then Jesus in turn says, you are Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Forever and forever, as long as time exists, the Church of Christ will exist. And St. Peter, along with all of the apostles, are the ones who founded it in faith. We go back all the way to apostolic times and see the very foundations of the church laid, which we still follow to this day, especially the Eucharist and all the 7 sacraments. The chair of Peter reminds us that Jesus has given the Pope the position of being the chief shepherd of the whole church. In matters of faith and morality, he cannot err. He can make a lot of other mistakes, but in matters of faith and morality, and especially when he speaks ad cathedra, these are truths that we must believe. And so St. Peter's, the feast is one in which we give thanks to God for the gift of the church that was founded on the confession of St. Peter. St. Peter is the one person that's given the full authority even over the apostles, because all the unity with them and the unity with Christ is so very important, that we are united in faith and in love, and we're united with the head of the church. The church is worldwide. St. Peter and St. Paul argued about the issue of should the converts follow all the Jewish laws of the past, and some thought that they should. St. Peter got in trouble for sitting down and having dinner with the Gentiles. But again, he was saying that Jesus came for all people, and to be united in him under one church. We have disunity in the church. That's a scandal of Christianity today. The first 1,500 years, the Christian church was the Roman Catholic Church, united under the authority of the Pope. During the Reformation and later times, many different Christian churches have sprung up. And Vatican II Council said that all those churches have some of the means of salvation that Jesus gave to us, but then in the Catholic Church, we find all the means he gave us to salvation. And so we're still working at unity, and a lot has happened. You can remember when I was younger, and some of you remember, we were forbidden to even enter into a non-Catholic church. Today, it's very different. We have a unity. As a priest, I have celebrated weddings and funerals with Protestant ministers in their churches and in my church. And there's a unity among us now that's being recognized more and more. And so certainly the Holy Spirit is with the church, and the Holy Spirit will guide us to that unity one day. So we ask God today we thank him for the gift of St. Peter and the Holy Father, Pope Francis, our current Pope, and we ask him to help all of us remain united in faith and in love of him. Let us stand and offer our prayers and petitions.